My name is Riccardo Salatino.
I'm Scotty Zimmerman.
Waylon Jeffrey.
Spencer Tanner.
We're in Rancho Santa Margarita,
California, at Blazin Rodz.
The Blazin Rodz program is different from pretty much about everything you've seen in the past because first off, we're using 3D scanning technology, we're using printing, we're using design in the computer, and we're making things a lot faster.
I was trying to come up with names to say what Blazin Rodz is. It's kind of like an easy quote, you know, but honestly, I really just feel like
We're trying to mesh race cars with show cars, street cars, and not everyone does that. Most people, they're more on one side of things. They're either, oh, we build badass show cars, or, oh, we just build function over form race cars.
We need a car that'll actually start.
We're trying to take things to the next level. We're trying to innovate the industry, trying to do new things that haven't been seen out there before. The Chevelle project that we're doing, and there is some stuff on that car that I only dreamed about doing. What I see that's missing in the industry, if you look at cars from that were at SEMA this year and 10 years ago, they all got the same style points. They're all great, don't get me wrong. They all look nice, they're beautiful cars. But I feel like there needs to be some fresh blood in the water now. I feel it's time for things to get taken to the next level. I gotta take my hat off to the builders that are out there, but there comes a point in every industry where things need to change. And I think the Chevelle is what's going to make that industry change.
Nice job on the tow truck, bro. Turned out nice.
I appreciate it, man. It was a lot of hard work, but we got it done. I originally met Jason through another client of mine. He had a tow truck of all things. He's like, hey, your other client told me that, you know, you do a lot of stuff with interior, a lot of custom work, this and that. He's like, I have this tow truck, you know, let's start with this and see how things go.
Oh, the 410s look great in the back.
Yeah, your dad's like, hey man, what do we do back there? And I was like, I mean, you got a seat back there. And he's like, who's gonna sit back there?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's your truck.
Oh yeah, exactly.
He's like, going sound system. I was all right.
That was the problem. Now nobody can ride in the back. Oh well.
That's good, that means less people.
I did that for 10 years. I would drive people around, no more. My passion for cars started when I was a kid. I was probably 13 or 14 years old, and my mom's car broke down one day, and tow truck driver pulled up. For some reason, we were just talking for a while, and you know, actually I was 14, and he actually offered me a job. As a kid, you want to do anything you can to earn a few dollars and try saving up for your first car. Where do we go from here? What do you, I know we've been talking on and off about some different things in the last couple of weeks, and you know, things we can maybe do together and move forward with. And I know you've been talking about SEMA, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to, you know, to grow. I feel like we kind of work on the same aspect of things of how you want things to look, and you're really big on stuff rattling, you know, because I know that, you know, you've had a lot of these cars.
Yeah, let's hope the tow truck don't rattle, right?
I know you've had a lot of these cars, and you know, I know that's one of your biggest pet peeves. You know, when you come to me, it's like, hey, you know, it's little things like that, little details that you pay attention to that you know, helps me, you know, become a better builder.
I've been in business for now, it's almost 30 years, self-employed, and you know, it's just one of those things you grasp on people. And with Riccardo, especially in the car business, getting things done correctly, getting things done on time, and being very communicative, you don't really get that. I don't expect it, but it was very rare to get, and it helped out a lot with the build that he did for me.
Like you said, you know, where do you want to go from here? It's SEMA's a huge thing, you know, for builders. They do have a competition. It's called Battle of the Builders. It's pretty much the best of the best compete in that. I mean, depends where you want to go from here. Do you guys want to build a car with me in my shop, or do we all, do we all just come together?
SEMA is the biggest car show in the world. It takes place in Vegas with over 2,200 people exhibiting and over 200,000 people coming to the show. It's where the top of the top bring their top builds to showcase what they do. You almost want to consider it like a player going to the all-star team.
What do you think's missing in the industry right now, as far as
builds go?
Yeah, as far as builds go, like what hasn't been done? And
I mean, I've been going to SEMA since like 2014, right? And I feel like every year you go, things progress a little bit, right? But I just feel that big jump in the industry hasn't been taken yet. People are very little starting to incorporate like 3D printing, 3D scanning, machine parts. It's there, but it's not, I don't think it's used to its full potential yet.
yeah, this is more than a financial thing for me. It's something that I want to do for a long time. I've been around cars my whole life. I've seen cars go from the junkyard to the nicest things out on the street. And to me, it's just an amazing thing to be able to see cars built, from the ground up. And, there's not too many opportunities to find the right group of guys to do this with. Yeah, what kind of operation are we looking for? I mean, are we looking at, how many people are we looking for to bring on?
I mean, to get started, I don't think you need a crazy crew. I think bringing on probably 2 other guys, plus myself. We definitely need a CAD guy, that can, scan, 3D design, get the printers going, stuff like that. And we definitely need another fabricator. I think with us 3 in the shop tackling that, I think that's more than enough to get started.
I think the most challenging thing for Riccardo for this venture is going to be time. We only have a little over a year, but I think with the right group of people, financing and different things, I think we can get there. But I think that's going to be his biggest challenge is time. I think he's got the right mentality for it, and he knows what he wants, and I think he can take it. I think he can take us there.
It's definitely something I've always wanted to do, and I feel like I always say everything in life happens for a reason. I think that this kind of all fell into place at the right time.
I mean, it does help that he's using half your shop for his cars.
Right. I mean, I would love to go forward with this if it's going to finally give myself that opportunity to put what I've envisioned for a while into life. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it was kind of like in business where you're kind of in that, you don't know which route the business is going to go. Came right smack in the middle, and it was just, a godsend, to be honest,
Man, I think to be competitive in this space, certainly creativity, style, and taste, which is crucial important, because in my opinion, all the money in the world doesn't necessarily buy style and taste. And so I think it's a crucial aspect to it. But I also think having the tenacity to constantly push forward. And a big part is adapting modern technology into the build world. Because I'm not suggesting that you can't still build in the old manner of the coach building style where everything's handmade. I appreciate and love that very much, but I like seeing the guys that are starting to bring in technology, scanning stuff, creating 3D CAD models. I think it's going to be crucial to any builders to really excel, unless they're already known for the old style and they live off of their reputation, which is totally cool. But I think the new guys, you got to deal with technology and bring it into play.
All right, guys, so reason why I brought you guys in, I talked to you guys a little bit on the side about, starting up the new shop and, taking on this new venture. I want you to introduce you guys to Jason.
What's up, Wayland?
Jason, nice to meet you. Jason, nice to meet you.
This is Scotty.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So this crew kind of came together because we had the automotive group that my dad and I had started, which was more of my dad and I's collection of things. And we love how everyone builds cars. We love different builders. We love all types of different cars. But we thought to ourselves, maybe it was time to build cars our way that we like.
Riccardo he's the one that got us all together, I guess. He does everything.
Riccardo's definitely the glue that keeps the shop together. He's the guy that's down to get dirty. He'll He'll yank a car apart in a day, you know, where I'm not gonna lie, dude, I'm a little lazy when it comes to that stuff, bro. I don't wanna do that. So without Riccardo, dude, we'd be in the dust 100%. He's just like that breath of fresh air because he gets everything, right? And he could be like, what if we do it this way? And I'm like, thanks, bro, you know? I've been stressing on this for like 8 hours today, you know? So he's just honestly an all-around vital person, you know? He's like the aorta in your body, bro. Like without him, there's no blood flow anywhere, you know?
The guy knows almost everything, and if he doesn't, he'll learn it. This guy is just incredible, and it's crazy to see what he could do underneath the car, in a car, and all around it.
So we're gonna talk about Scotty, huh? All right. Well, I'll start out by this. Scotty's Jason's son.
He's in the office, he's making all the phone calls, and
He takes care of all office stuff, finances, tells me when we're spending too much money.
We love Scotty. Scotty handles all the tracking, the progress of parts, the handling of parts, the invoicing of parts. You know, I deal with a lot of like the machine aspect of things, right? So I handle, you know, the tolerances and all that stuff. But after I, you know, supply that to the vendor to machine, Scotty just takes it from there.
Staying on me when his dad's on his ass and he gets on my ass kind of type deal. Without Scotty, the shop wouldn't run the way it does, basically. So he takes care of all the aspects that you see that's besides like the fab work and stuff like that, he takes care of.
Spencer, he's always there, he's always excited to do something new, and he loves the idea of starting a project and finishing it in the same day. I never have to worry about something being done, he gets it done. And he just has this mind of imagination where he thinks it's gonna work, and it works.
Man, that guy, he does stuff that I couldn't even imagine. He's actually taught me a lot. He comes from a background of building, you know, drag cars and a lot of race car stuff. So for me, that's a whole new realm of stuff. Big horsepower stuff it's all new to me. And he's making it, you know, he's teaching me on that.
He's a main man, you know, he definitely knows pretty much everything about anything. Spencer could plumb a car, figure out why this car's doing this, right? Like he knows how to wire a car from scratch, plumb a car from scratch, fabricate everything on the car. I'm the cool, shiny billet guy, right? I make all the cool, like, it looks nice, right, you know? But Spencer could make everything that I'm making billet by hand.
Waylon is one of the smartest people I've ever met. You put any design in front of him, he'll figure it out. And like with our cars we're building now, we're doing so many one-off pieces. It's amazing to see what he can do in a computer to just develop something that no one's thought of before, or, oh wow, we can just tweak this little part and it'll fit.
he's drawing everything in CAD, designing everything. He's handling all the machine parts, 3D printing everything. We've known each other for a long time, and so we kind of go hand in hand. We just bounce ideas off each other. We're always trying to come up with the next crazy thing. Any idea, he can figure out how to make it on the computer, and then we can bring it to life.
He does all our computer design stuff for all the cars. So basically, we all sit down with him, we shoot ideas to him, and he just puts his head in the computer, does all the design work for us. When myself or Spencer comes up with a crazy ass idea, he's the one who makes it a reality for us. He's definitely a huge, if not one of the biggest assets for us here.
I think now with the way the economy is and the way everything's going in this country, I think everybody needs a shot. You know, it was a lot easier to start a business 30 years ago, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. It's really hard now. And I think these group of guys have what it takes. And I think it'll, you know, these are the guys I want to invest in. If you guys want to know my honest opinion as of now, there's always going to be some rough spots that we're going to hit. Someone's going to get irritated, someone's going to get pissy, but at the end of the day, like, all this hard work will pay for itself as soon as you see the unveiling.
So the mission at Blazin Rodz is to build, I mean, at the end of the day, it's to build badass shit. This first, year and a half, we're trying to push some really big builds out there to show people what we can do, and you know, and just progress from there, to be honest. Our first huge project that we're doing here under Blazin Rodz is a 1970 Chevelle. The reason why we're going all out on this car for a business aspect is we need to show everyone out there how crazy we can build a car and how advanced we can build a car.
Every time I come to the shop and see that car, it's something of a dream. You see something new on that car every day. And even when that car is done at SEMA, you're gonna have to go look at it 3 or 4 times to even see the amount of detail that's in that car.
This car is just all out. Anything you can think of. Basically, it's a drag car in a road racing chassis with show car aesthetics.
There's not one part on this car that's purchased besides the transmission, the drive shaft, and the motor. Everything else is just one-off.
When you go to SEMA every year, what do you guys see inside the engine bay? LS, LT4, small blocks. We're doing a 540 big block on this, twin turbo, big horsepower, 2,800 horsepower to be exact.
Steel wide body, all metal finish, like as perfect as it can be.
There is thousands and thousands of hours in the design of the Chevelle that's in my computer. There's gigabytes. Honestly, I think we're at probably 500 gigabytes of just files for this car.
All I can say is that there's a lot of billet on this car, a lot of billet parts on this car.
Billet, absolutely everything. Like if you're like, oh no, there's no way, it's billet.
It's definitely going to be a game changer. We basically took everything that we've seen and are like, dude, we could turn this up, like not just 1 notch, maybe like 5.
Big picture here is we want to build this 1970 Chevy Chevelle. Absolutely insane. I know we all have the knowledge here to do that, but now we got to make it, you know, a reality. At SEMA, they have this competition. It's called Battle of the Builders. So basically, you have all these people that enter into this competition, and I believe there's 1,300 or 1,400 cars that it starts with. And it drops down to about 36 cars, and then from those 36 cars, they bring it down to, I believe, 20, 20 down to 12, 12 down to 3. When you make it to the top 3, not only are you getting judged by the judges, but also the other 2 builders that are up there with you. So you really have to nail what you're trying to do, because now you got these big dogs out there that putting eyes on your project.
Arguably one of the most important awards to win. Stellar vehicles showing up. You got a lot of competition from builders that are already highly, very well known and recognized and respected. And tough, you know, you got to remember, there's only one winner.
Back in 2017, I entered the Battle of the Builders competition, made it to the top 12. And just to make it to that top 12 spot was one of the hardest things that I've done. And now going with Blazin Rodz in our new shop to make it to the top, I know how much stress and how much time it's gonna take to get that spot. This car is the statement. You only have one chance to show people what you can do.
Yep.
You only have one shot at it.
First impression, dude.
That's it. This is our once in a lifetime opportunity for all of us to hit this out of the park.
Technology is now being used not only as a helpful tool, but essentially the main ingredient for saving time and building things the right way the first time. Because when you take the human element out of it, you're essentially taking out that margin of error. You know, a CNC machine or a 3D printer is gonna get it right the first time, every single time. The precision aspect has been upped exponentially when you're using a computer to build a car.
Doing one car in a little more than a year is a lot, but I mean, you can definitely do more with the right guys. Is there anything you guys seen that you like?
We could do something with a Dodge.
I've always loved the 70 Chargers.
To keep it to where We don't have to do too much like on body to make the car look cool. There's a company called Finale Speed.
Yeah.
Oh, the carbon fiber chargers?
Yeah.
Those things are so cool.
On top of the Chevelle at SEMA, we plan on taking 2 other cars, 2 1970 carbon Dodge Chargers.
I'm really excited about these Chargers. Having cars that are fully carbon bodied on their own are already crazy, and I've always found that super cool with my exotic background. Carbon bodied cars are just something you see on the street and you're just like, wow.
What's crazy about these 2 cars that I absolutely love is I think it was not this past SEMA, the SEMA before, Dodge released the new Elephants, but they are 1,500 horsepower.
They're gnarly in the sense that, you know, they have this Dodge motor from DSR that's literally from Dodge, licensed from Dodge, warranty, everything. Those cars are gonna be really exciting. And I honestly think those 2 cars are going to be like a gnarly amount when they go to Barrett-Jackson or something like that, for sure.
I don't really know whose idea it was. It was kind of just put on us to take 3 cars to SEMA. That's kind of a little crazy for such a small team of guys.
Our goal is to have those 3 cars at SEMA, and we're gonna push hard to do it.
I think a lot of businesses have a fear of failure. I really do, and I think that's why they fail. I also think they come in at the wrong time or don't have the right people around them, and that's where the fear of failure comes in. Finding out that they have to do almost everything on their own to try and make the business a success, and you can't do it by yourself. I think if you're having a fear of failure, you're just not gonna make it. I really, truly think that if you push yourself to limits that you're not used to, and you do different things that you're not used to, I think you can go as far as you want.
At the end of the day, it's a freaking race car, you know, big horsepower, you gotta have that roll cage in there.
If you want like show car stuff, you gotta hide the cage. I mean, if you buy a exotic hypercar, they have, if it's like a race spec one, they have cages and structures and it's all hidden.
Right, and
don't
we can
wanna see
obviously cover that with interior because it's the best way.
Yeah, I mean, but like those pieces, like for instance.
Oh, no,
that
I'm
deep-
saying
yeah.
if we did like the parts of the roll cage we could cover so it's
Yeah, like the
out.
roof.
Exactly. Because then it'll give it that inner and interior that we want because we obviously want that high-end interior.
Yeah,
with
you don't want tubes really
Yeah.
kind of exposed
We want-
everywhere.
Like, how do you really dress up a tube?
You can't. Yeah, leather wrap it. Pipe stitching like old bass boat, dude.
I mean, you can build a roll cage by hand inside the car. People still do it today. I mean, it's not a long process. I mean, you can build a roll cage relatively quick. For Wayland to design it in the computer versus having, let's just say, Spencer build a roll cage, we can be doing 10 other things. Well, Wayland takes 2 days to design it and get it cut out, and we have it in a week and a half, 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, you can be doing other things to progress on the car.
It's not my first time doing cages, and I've built plenty of them. And you have to pre-plan a lot before you actually go to put everything in the car. There's a lot of cutting and removing parts of the body that aren't necessarily needed anymore to get it to fit nice and tight in the car, because we don't want this cage sticking out. It's gonna be all hidden by interior, so it needs to be tight.
There's still a lot of manual labor, so that's where Spencer's talent comes in, and he's built roll cages forever. I call him the tubing god. We didn't just design the cage and it was a snap of a finger and it's here and it goes in, right? There's a lot of manual labor still involved. You still have to have someone that knows how to fabricate and do stuff by hand to bring what I have to real life.
Making sure everything's gonna clear, but also that you can get it in. That's also a big part. I had to pre-planned, like, okay, I could probably put the roof in as one piece, and I could probably put the sides in as separate pieces. So I had to weld everything but a few joints, break it apart, make sure it was all good before I welded it, obviously, and then break it apart and then put it back into the car in the exact way that it was on the fixture table.
The other one is going to be a problem. Should I cut the bar? Leave that bar attached to see. Yeah, you want it? Yeah. Man, I'm coming with it. I don't know what way you're gonna have to put it in. Go from that side. I don't know that way, but whatever way it'll fit. No, because if you come that way, you can swing that tail in. Oh shit! Who designed this? Does this fit? Watch the tricks. Watch the cooling. Full of. Whoa! Hail Mary! Bah. Yep, very good. You got my figure. Watch the fuel air mixture.
Dude, Waylon just jumped so hard.
I thought I got shot. That thing in. There. Oh, hold on.
Oh, cock, guys.
Oh, we're good. You're gonna have to get over the frame. What's up?
It's always a guessing game when we're taking something, especially something as intensive as if you have over a week into making something that was drawn in the computer, and now you actually go to put it in the car, and you're like, well, we've never even held this thing in there. We don't even know if it fits, and then you're putting it in, and then be like, oh wow, it fits. I guess it worked out.
All this stuff here was a dream to me one day, and of course now it's a reality. I think A, it's about working hard, working smart.
My dad is self-made, and he's worked his ass off to get where he is, and I look up to that every single day, being like, holy crap, look at what you can do. Like, he grew up pretty poor, and he did great for himself, so having that in front of me every day is definitely something to help me push forward to succeed.
I mean, there's always a lot of people that say, you gotta work hard, you gotta work hard, you gotta work hard. Well, you gotta work smart. Most of the people that are financially stable and set have had great groups of guys around them or women to help do that.
I definitely dreamt about it, and, you know, I always told myself I'm gonna do whatever it takes in life, you know, to succeed, to be able to have nice things in life. So as of right now, I do feel that I'm on the track to one day being there, like Jason, hopefully one day, but I think we'll get there.
Blazin Rodz is a business for me. It's a hobby, don't get me wrong. It's fun, and it's real fun. But no, it's a business. You know, anything you put a dollar to is a business, because you're taking money away from one thing for a new thing, and, you know, you didn't, whatever you're planning for the other thing, now you're skipping to do this thing. You gotta, you know, it's gotta be right.
I mean, at the end of the day, our SEMA debut has to be on point 100%.
From start to finish, we are building 3 cars in 12 months.
Yeah, there's a lot of skeptics about like the process of how we're doing things. Well, it's just like not real though, right? Like everything's done on the computer, it's not real. Like there's nothing, you don't have it in your hands, you know?
The biggest concern on these builds right now is definitely time. That's the one thing you can't overnight and expedite is time.
My biggest concern right now is not making it to SEMA.